I've got three exhaust cutouts I want to share with you today. And this one's probably the least favorite of all the ones I've ever seen or used. It's cast iron, it's got a small diameter. And I bought it and just didn't install it because I didn't like the way it looked. I could see that it would leak exhaust through that pivot point on this side. And also here you can see daylight through it. And the flapper valve never really closes very well. Even when it's closed, you can see it leaks. So I didn't want to put it under a car because it would be leaking exhaust the whole time, and that wouldn't be a good idea. It came with this cable here. It looks like it's like a heavy duty choke cable. It's very, very robust, and it would mount under your dash or something like that. And you would basically route it over to this lever here. And there's two holes in the lever depending on how much throw you think you need. And you'd do a Z-bend on this wire and put it through the post there and clamp this down, and then you'd be able to move this lever back and forth. But I don't know if anyone's ever put one of these in. I'd be interested to hear how it worked out for them. But for me, I decided not to put it in. Maybe if you had a pickup truck and you wanted this, maybe it'd go under the bed or something like that. But the diameter's so small. And the other thing I didn't like about it is when it did divert to the wide open, it actually blocks the exhaust, the normal exhaust, which is kind of a bad idea because you want to take advantage of having that increased flow in both directions, you know. But what this does is diverts it all out the side. And I didn't think that was a good idea, especially the exhaust leaking part. But so I got this one here to try. This one's got a motor, a DC 12-volt motor here that runs this plate here. It looks like a throttle body plate or something like that. And it came with this wiring harness and a switch. The switch is illuminated, you can kind of see. It's not labeled as to which is open and which is closed. You just sort of have to figure it out from ear. I guess you'd be playing it by ear, so to speak. But I can show you. So now it appears to me to be, I'm gonna put a flashlight in there. I can't really see. That's closed. I can see now. And when you open it, it's very quick. It doesn't give you any indication of when it's fully open or when it's fully closed. But the thing I did like about it is the design of how it works. The exhaust would come in this direction and be routed out to your muffler, tailpipe, and all that kind of stuff. But when you wanted exhaust, full exhaust, full open exhaust, it wouldn't divert it from the exhaust system. It just dumps it out the side here. So you still have the advantage of all the flow out the exhaust system that you had before. You would just have all this excess flow out the side here. This would just go to a short stubby pipe right out the side of the car or something like that. I haven't installed this yet. I don't really know how reliable it will be. Not sure how that would work out. But if you've got experience with one of these, I'd be interested to know how well it worked out for you. But the one I do have experience with, and the one I do really like, is very, very simple. This would mount on your right after your header, and you can have like a 2 3/4 or 3-inch, and you'd weld that on or put a plate on it so you could take it off the header if you wanted to, and it would just normally route exhaust out to your exhaust system. But when I use this on a street legal car I wanted to take to the drag strip and have open exhaust when I got there. So you take these, use these wing nuts here to take this plate off, and there's a gasket under there that seals it. And it does a pretty good job of sealing. You can get extra gaskets, or you can just cut them yourself if you want to. But I'd put anti-seize on there to make sure that they come off freely when you want them to. You just have to let it cool down a lot. And one time I thought I'd be smart and just take off 2 of the bolts and allow the thing to pivot down out of the way and just let it hang there. But that turned out to not be a good idea because I lost the plate and had to drive it home with an open exhaust. And I made it home, but I was a little worried about it. So I wouldn't advise. Ever since then, I would just take the plate off entirely and put it in the car for safekeeping. This thing works great. I was just thinking about trying to do something where I didn't have to crawl into the car all the time,